everybody wanted Axl to jump on stage and have that raspy quality to his voice instead of welcome to the jungle, we've got fun and games, we got everything you want, only we know the names. Okay, I think, I'm not sure, I think that he's making the melody here a tiny bit lower than... Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the studio with a good cup of coffee for one more vocal analysis, and today we're going to talk about Guns N' Roses. Now, I've seen a lot of comments about the recent performance at Wacken Open Air, now in 2024, now in 2025, I'm sorry. Week's been kind of busy. Well, people are complaining specifically about Axl Rose's voice, and I uploaded another video on him recently talking about his performance at the Black Sabbath farewell tour, where we discussed a little bit about his voice and his vocal technique. But since that became a topic again after this specific performance, we'll be talking more about that. I'll be listening to a couple songs and we'll be discussing that. For those who are new here, my name is Kailesh. I'm a singer-songwriter and vocal coach / voice teacher. I just released an original of mine a few weeks ago. It's called The Crown My Fall. It's a rock song. If you like Guns N' Roses, you might like my song. Well, at least I hope you do. We're talking about heavy guitars, high vocals, some vocal distortions. So check that out. I'll leave the link for my original music here in the description. And as a vocal coach, voice teacher, my work is based on laryngeal physiology, the physiological behaviors that you have inside your larynx to produce the sounds that you are producing. And that's the kind of analysis that we are doing right now for Axl. So let's go. Let's listen to some Guns N' Roses. Let's see what I can add. I was so hyped when I saw that they were going to perform together again. That was like a few years ago, but it's something. I won't hear the whole thing just for the sake of time, so I'll just be skipping some parts because I cannot focus here. Seriously? Like, what are we complaining, guys? What are we complaining about? So he's jumping around, he's interacting with the band, with the audience, he's being a showman, and he's singing on pitch that high. I know, because again, that's something that we discussed previously in another video, but I know that most people, what they're complaining about is the lack of vocal distortion. Everybody wanted Axl to jump on stage and have that raspy quality to his voice instead of welcome to the jungle, we've got fun and games, we got everything you want, only we know the names. I would like that too, because I'm extremely biased. I like vocal distortions, I like teaching them, I like using them on my own songs. Yeah, we don't have as much vocal distortion here. However, this, for the standards of a live performance, something great. And he's having a good time. Like, look at the guy on stage. Okay, I think, I'm not sure, I think that he's making the melody here a tiny bit lower than what's supposed to be. And we have the distortion. And the question I would have here would be, does he feel like he needs to make the melody lower to apply distortion? Because that would be a problem. Like, if whenever you want to apply the distortion, you need to, or you can't do that following the right melody, singing that high. In other words, you can't sing with distortion if it is too high. And that would be a problem because that means that the muscles are just like lacking training. Sometimes it's hard to arrange the muscles in a way because the distortion that he would use a lot would be the what we call the phaser, specifically the phaser creaky, which is a distortion that has some balance between hiss and crackling, and more towards the crackling side. With more breathiness. More breathiness would be now, more crackling now. So he would use a lot of crackling when doing the phaser. That's the reason why we call that phaser creaky. We need a lot of the action of the posterior muscles that we have inside the larynx. So the lateral cricotinoid muscles, the oblique arytenoid muscles, and the transverse arytenoid muscle. If these muscles are not strong enough, if they are not being trained properly, that might be hard, and that might be the case that sometimes you might need to drop a bit like the notes or make the notes lower to be able to manipulate those muscles better. That might be the case, and that would explain the fact that he's still singing high. So the muscles behaving to adjust the pitch are working well, but maybe the posterior muscles responsible for the firmness of the voice and also the vocal distortions, they are not acting that much there. We would have to investigate. And this, I think that this was the first song. So let's hear more. Let's see if things start to. We had some distortion there. Scream! Maybe not too much, but we had some distortion there. I wanna hear you scream! 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 I wanna hear you scream! Again, we had some distortion there. Everybody slash. Again, we are having more vocal distortion when we have a stronger level of muscle mass, so the vocal folds are more active, and we are also low. Again, we had some vocal distortion there. That's a good sign. However, it's not as strong. We don't have as much crackling as when he was doing it a bit lower and when we compare to Axl years ago. And seems like people are happy at Wacken. It was a good performance. Let me open the other one here that I prepared. It will be Paradise City. I really like it. It's a good performance. Again, some people are complaining about the fact that it wasn't as distorted as he would sing 20 years ago. But guys, we are allowed as singers to sing things in a different way. And yeah, he was singing on key. He was singing all of the high notes. He was doing the distortion every now and then. It seems like he's having a hard time to apply distortion, that I must say. And this is definitely something that you as a singer, if you're facing something like that, and here I'm not talking like to Axl. Axl won't watch this video. I'm talking to you guys because some people who watch this video will be curious about Guns N' Roses and Axl Rose. Some people will be voice students, people who are or singers who want to develop their voices further, who want to learn more about vocal technique, who want to know about what works and what doesn't, and what might be potentially harmful for the voices. And they wonder, okay, what happened that made Axl not able to sing the way that he used to? This is definitely something, and here again, I'm talking to you guys who are singers and want to sing this kind of music. If a singer like Axl, and regardless of the age, like even at his age, if he would work with a voice teacher specialized in vocal distortions, he could definitely apply more vocal distortions. It's all about putting the muscles to work in the right way for the desired adjustment, and that's totally feasible. Paradise City. Here it seems like, I don't know how later this was on the show. It was definitely later than the previous one. I think that Welcome to the Jungle was the first one. This one definitely was sang later. Seems like he was a bit tired and the vocal folds are not as active, like everything is softer. We have some howl. We call that howl voice, this kind of vocal distortion. Have it here and there. It's a vocal distortion made famous by Janis Joplin. It has more air pressure but less crackling. It's more towards the sibilance, the S side of things. We have more breathiness than crackling. We have that here and there, and this is another sign that he's using less muscle mass here, so the vocal folds are less active. If we were talking about like classical terms that I don't often use as a vocal coach, this would be closer to like head voice slash falsetto, depending on the terms that you guys use. But passive vocal folds, like in terms of physiology, biomechanics, the vocal folds are more passive. It's kicking all the wires. He's singing the notes. He's singing the notes. Yeah, I know. I also would like to hear more of that, but it's still good. Again, more of that howl voice, softer, blind, breathiness, still vocal distortion, and I like it. So, okay, so let's just do that again. Yeah, he's definitely having an easier time to apply distortion when it's lower. So he sustained that high. This is a C sharp 5. He sustained that. He applied vibrato. Yeah! And then that F sharp there. That's not easy. Take me down! Okay. Last year, I made a video that, in fact, did way better than I expected. It was on Ornel Pineda, Journey singer, how people were complaining about his presentation for Rock and Rio. And I need to reinforce something that I said there. Axl did a fantastic performance here. How many people at 63 are able to put up a show like this? And I'm not talking only about the singing. He literally had a stage presence that a lot of 20 years old wouldn't have. There he's doing it. And he's also singing. How many artists way younger than Axl and who sing songs that are way easier than Guns N' Roses songs are using pre-recorded vocals on stage? Or using auto-tune live? How many singers? a lot of them have difficult parts already recorded, and then they are singing the thing, and then when it gets to that high note, they're just miming it. That's common, more common than you guys expect. And here we have a singer that's 63 years old that has been singing this for a whole while, and then he goes up there, he does the whole thing, he's singing. Of course, this is a live performance, so not 100% of the notes will be right there. When I'm singing live, I don't get 100% of the notes right, as we commit mistakes, and that's exactly what makes it a live performance. So, and that's what I want to reinforce, do we still enjoy live music, or AI will just take over? Because if we are expecting singers and music in general to be perfect, guys, that's the future. We'll have robots playing music for us, because human beings will commit mistakes, human beings will do things differently, and human beings sometimes will not attend our expectations. And we gotta understand that that's okay. You can still be a good singer even when you're not singing exactly the way that you would sing 20 years ago. I think that's important for me to say as an artist, because I sing and I don't feel like I sing exactly the way I recorded something every time that I go there and sing them live. And as a vocal coach, because sometimes people have the wrong idea and they feel like, oh, because this singer is not doing the technique A or B that often anymore, that they are not a good singer, or that's ruined their voice. Guys, how can something have ruined his voice if he's still singing like that? Again, he's singing all of the notes. Yeah, sometimes with less muscle mass, sometimes it sounds softer, sometimes it's a bit stronger. He doesn't have as much vocal distortion. However, sometimes the vocal distortion is there. I agree that I would like to hear more vocal distortion. However, it's not because we are not having that much vocal distortion that it is bad. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand that, and that's a video for the day. If you want to develop your own voice to be more expressive, to learn different vocal techniques, to be able to learn, apply, and control vocal distortions, I have my complete online course. It's called Building Your Voice. I'll leave it linked down below. There we talk about active vocal schemes for you to be able to sing with a powerful voice whenever you want to. We talk about passive vocal schemes for you to be able to sing softly and gently whenever you want to convey more of that sort of emotion in your singing. We talk about ornaments, runs, vibratos, yodels. We talk about how to warm up your voice in the most effective way. We talk about how to create your own vocal exercise for whenever you're facing a challenge in the song that you're practicing, for you to be able to work around that and use the song that you're learning, the song that you're practicing, as a tool to improve your singing. We have a module all on vocal distortions, again, for you to be able to use them in a safe way for your voice. We also have a vocal exercise library where you'll be able to exercise all of the techniques that we cover inside the course. And we have a bonus module on music theory for singers. So click the link, check it out. When you click the link, you already get access to a 38 minutes free lesson where we already talk about belting and vocal distortion. So check that out if you want to learn how to make your voice raspy or how to belt out those high notes. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, click the bell button to be notified when I post new videos, share the video, and that's it. That helps me a lot with the algorithm. Enjoy your coffee, enjoy your day, and remember, if your concepts cannot be seen here in the real world, they must change, not the world.